morning. The weekend again. So yeah, boys aren't here. We've got header mechanics here working on the header. I've sort of been leaving them alone, just giving them a hand when they need to, and yeah, we'll have a walk around. They sort of beat me here this morning. I was going to have just a wander around and show you what they were doing, but nothing major. They've just had a bit of trouble with a couple of bearings, getting them off, so that's consumed a bit more time. Hopefully by just talking to Simo then, they should be sort of late morning, just after lunch, they should nearly be done, so that'll be another one ticked off the list, ready to go. Also, we had, and I didn't speak about it, the pickup front, the canola pickup front, we had to get some work done on one of the main rollers on it, so we've had it in town at one of the engineering workshops that we get stuff done at. Yeah, they've been into it, so it's ready to pick up, and yeah, so it's harvest rapidly approaching. Lambs boys shifted the lambs yesterday, so these are the weather lambs. The unshorn ones are the ones that are going to go direct to works at the end of this month. So yeah, they're going all right. So fresh paddock are loosened, but they're ticking along pretty well. It's good weather for them. I think they're going to get a feed, which I probably should feed them. We might do that later when we get back. So yeah, but I'm just heading over now to shift the hard hosed irrigator, and I need to start the pivot again here on the loosen, but I want to service the pump on the dam first, and of course we've got filters but no oil, and Tony did tell me we were out of oil, so that's my fault. So what I might do is yeah, I've got to go to town for the mechanics and pick a bearing up, so I might fly in and yeah, do a bit of a bulk trip and get some oil and a bearing and pick this roller up as well. So and then yeah, we'll sort of have everything we need, hopefully. So shower rain last night, cool again this morning, about 10 degrees, about 8 o'clock. In the end, it's just easier to shut this. So I came over about 8 o'clock and turned the irrigator off. I was going to service the other pivot, or service that motor last night, and well, I couldn't because I didn't have oil anyway, but yeah, I was going to move this irrigator in the dark and that, and it was just easy to turn it off and have to start it all again this morning. So yeah, anyway, we'll by the weekend hopefully we can relax a little bit and not bust our ball too much, but yeah, it's going to be a nice sort of a day anyway. flat, so yeah, I had to just hook from learning from past, I just had to hook the hydraulics back up to the reel and just square it up a bit to the hose so we could feeds on nice and square, so we don't get that bunched up on one side like we did in the past. So funny sort of a day. It's quite cool now. It's windy again, but yeah, a bit overcast. And yeah, anyway, it's going to be shifted. Need to be shifted. Oh, I don't know, about 7 o'clock tonight or something. So there's probably one more shift left here yet. So yeah, we'll just see how we go, whether we run it over the night, see how my back's feeling. It's actually feeling not too bad this morning, but I have done a bit of work on it before I started doing anything. So yeah, but anyway, we'll get it going and on to the next job. Again, as we're getting close to the pump, we're getting, you know, we've got nearly 80 PS, we've got 90 at the pump. We'd be, I don't know, what would be 60 metres away, I suppose. So we've got 90 at the pump and we've nearly got 80 here at the irrigator. So we're getting a good squirt out. It's throwing it quite a ways. We're actually overlapping a bit on the last run, but that won't matter. Yeah, so anyway, we had most of the roll off. So, looking good. A bit of an exercise, but we got there. So been to town, changed the oil filter, new oil. I haven't changed that filter purely because we've got a bit of water backed up. That's just a fuel filter, so I've got one there to do it. I got one the other day. Again, it hasn't held prime, this bloody thing, so luckily we'd left the fire unit there, so I'm just filling it up now, so hopefully it won't be too long and we'll have prime and we'll get it going. I've already started the other irrigator under the loosen, so yeah, the Nelson valve will be open, so we should get water out of it straight away. Yeah, fingers crossed it all goes to plan. So again, we're going to put 30 mil on the loosen, and I'll put 60 on the western half that hasn't had any water. It's starting to get away the loosen, which is good, so it's going, so we'll have a bit of feed up our sleeves, which will be nice. So canola out here starting to drop flower, so it's getting to that time of year, so no, it looks good. Irritating. This one's a bit easier than the other one. Yeah, so it turned into a pretty crap day again. Bloody wind. It's around the south and sort of howling, so I don't know how that hard hosed irrigator would be going, but anyway, it's probably getting plenty of water downstream and probably not enough upstream anyhow. It's alright. Yeah, so we'll get this one walking and we should be good. So just had some lunch and just chilled out for a little bit, given it's the weekend. So mechanic's been, he's got to come back and do a couple of little jobs, but didn't have sort of bits and pieces left on the ground here, so it's probably the main thing they did was they replaced the chopper bearings, all the bearings that on the chopper shaft, fan bearings, new pulley there, the new bearings on whatever they call that thing. It's not the tail wheel, it's where your tailings go. A few new chains and belts. They read new bearings in this front roller. Bloke that cleaned it out didn't do a very good job. Still got a bit of corn in it. Yeah, and that was sort of the main stuff. And then the only thing he's going to do, we've still got a couple of bearings and that to get, but he wants to replace the bearings he's done the other end, but on the repeats, what they call the repeats cross auger. The machine's done about 1800 hours now, so the bearing in there's never been done, so he's put a bit of squirty stuff on this pulley and we'll get the bearing and replace it. But other than that, it's he's done the fan hub bearings and all the stuff upstairs, so apart from we've just got to change the oil in the engine and filters, and we're sort of ready to rock and roll. So and then Chris needs to come back. We've still got the pick up front. It's here. I'll show you this while we're here. So yeah, the pickup front's you know, there's a bit missing there. No, that needs to come in. So there's a roller, which I'll show you in a minute what had happened, but we had to get a new end on this back roller. So I picked it up this morning. It's over here in the trailer. What we actually had to do here was, I don't know if I can pick that up, I'll show you. What had happened was the bearings had spun on this shaft, and what I did, we had made a spacer just to get this heaper shaft there for whatever reason. And a couple of years ago we did a bearing and it spun on the shaft and damaged the shaft, so I just made a spacer up so that it moved where the bearings sat out further. Now we'd spun another bearing on the shaft, so what we've had to do is I took it into the guys in it, Cobram Farm Equipment, so they've got an engineering part of the workshop in there. That's our AGCO dealer as well. And Tim in there, what they actually did, they've machined that out of a solid bit of shaft. So effectively he's cut that off about there, and then machined up a sleeve of boss, and knocked that in and then welded it in and cut the keyway and all the rest of it. So it had him a bit snookered actually as to how it worked, but yeah, he's done a pretty bloody good job with that. So that can go back in. I've got another little bit of box section here, which I will show you what we're going to do with it now. So I've been talking about this strip till bar that we've been talking about in the tines, and while we're mucking around with the airseeder cart and all the rest of it. What we've got here, so Josh, who's a neighbour and mate, he's a welder as well, so that makes it really easy. So I had this box section to make this up, but he with my back, and he had the time, so we've made this frame up. I think I did show you guys that have been watching along for a while. I did have this older frame here that we were made for something else one day, so we've just cut it off. He has cut it off and made up this new one. So the plan is these tines that I've bought, we're going to mount them on here, so they'll be at 30-inch spacings, the same row as what we plant same width we plant corn on, and then we'll pull the air cart behind it and we'll be able to band our fertiliser. So we'll probably, Josh just brought it round on his tractor and he's not using tractor, so he's left it here, but it'll probably go on our tractor at some point in time. So the pressure's on a bit to get this cart finished, so we can get it going, because we're starting to run into corn planting. I'm hoping with the way I am at the moment, and we're still got a bit to do, but if my back was better I'd be sort of looking into it, but I'm gonna try and do a little bit more now. But that, I've got some 40 by 40 box section there that I had in the trailer, and what we're going to do is these tines, they've got they were hydraulic tines once upon a time. What we're going to do is take that out, and I'm just going to cut half metre lengths of that 40 by 40, which will fit in there, bore a hole at either end and take that out and make them rigid. So, and in time, look, we can try and get the rams going again, maybe, I don't know, or we might be able to find something else to put in there so they are hydraulic. But yeah, and then what we'll do, we just need to work our height out, but what we're thinking is we'll unbolt that and put it on the back, just because we don't need that length, and we might be able to, they're a 10.9 grade bolt, we'll just go back to a a grade 4 bolt as a shear bolt, and then if we do hook a stump or something like that, well, it busts the shear bolt off rather than busting something else. But all the country we're going into has been, it's irrigation country. We shouldn't, theoretically, we're thinking, we'll probably only be going, 250 mil deep. We're not going to be going yay deep. So then once we get it mounted, these seed tubes won't be big enough, so we'll make up a bigger tube for the back of it, and then we can deep band our fertiliser, and then we can also, we've been talking about building a ripper, so we can use it as a ripper as well. So Josh has got the acid on me a little bit because he's got about 300 hectares of corn to plant, and we've got 90. Yeah, we're just doing a bit of a swap deal. So yeah, we'll do the strip tilling, or he'll use a strip tiller, and then we'll get him to plant our corn. So it's yeah, if you can work together in these sorts of jobs where it's specialty sort of machinery, yeah, it should work all right. So anyway, I might fire the lathe up and cut those bits of box section and just chip away here for an hour or so, and that'll be about the end of the day, I reckon. So we're getting there. So what I'm thinking, I need to get some grease into that somehow, but I don't want to drill a hole in there. Just I'm a bit worried about the strength of it. So what I'm thinking is I'll put a grease nipple on either side, and hopefully it works its way into the middle. Fingers crossed, we'll see how we go. So the other thing I've done while I've had that lathe going, I've started making these bars up. So that hole's a fraction big, but that's as close as drill bit I've still got 4 there to do. I might grab the telehandler and bring one of those things over and see how it bolts up. Roll pin, holding the pins in. It's a bit long at that length there is a bit long, so I'll just trim that back. It's not much, it's just enough. Alright, put the roll pins back in and we can try and fit her up. That's what we're aiming for. So there'll be 8 of these, and then obviously a fert tube coming down the back. I'm going to have to gas those bolts off because I could put the rattle gun on them. I might be able to crack them, get a bar and break a bar and crack them now that they're, if I've only got that just loosely there so it doesn't fall off and hurt somebody. But yeah, again, we'll get that round on the back and get it up a bit. We can flip that round just to lift it up. We've probably got enough clearance there. We'll just see how we go when we get the front ones on. But yeah, don't see why it shouldn't work. The plan was I wouldn't have minded getting some coulters on it as well. But yeah, we'll just see. We probably really need a 3rd row and have the coulters on the front row. And then the tines out the back. So we'll just see. Most of the stuff we go into will be worked country, so it shouldn't matter too much. But yeah, starting to come together. But just the Josh that owns this tractor and's got the planters, he wants to start and get a bit of fert in the ground, so he's got the asset on me to yeah, get it together. And while the air cart's the main factor at the moment. So, but look, if I had a good day at it, it's just everything else. And but yeah, good day. I'd give it a fair shake actually. So anyway, we'll see where we go. Sort of come over and check the hard hose irrigator. It's still got a good couple of hours, I suppose. We have past 5:15, so 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that, will be close to being finished. So whether we shift it tonight or do it in the morning, we'll just see. Yeah, shift it tonight and then we can turn it off tomorrow then and reset it for Monday. And yeah, I think we'll probably jump over the other side here and other side of the channel and have a crack at it over there. I have got onto some seals for the pipes that I was talking about, so just need to slip up to Cora on Monday probably and pick them up. So yeah, anyway, it's going all right, which is good. That's the main thing. So while I was out and about, I had a bit of a drive around. So this is where we're going to move the ewe lambs over to. Brendan started putting the electric fence up last week. I'll just show you here where we've irrigated some of the wheat and just the difference. Just make sure the ute doesn't drive away on me. Yeah, so we've got good clover and lucerne and that here, so it's nice and fresh. It has made a difference where we've watered it, but yeah, just show you the difference with irrigating. There's a lot of work in it, but we're here by the tree too, which doesn't help. It'll be taking its bit, but you can see the clear line there. No water. So yeah, it is well worth the mucking around. So, and the crops well out and head now. We've got some good ones. Looking at the probe, we'll just see what this change does later on in the week. And yeah, if we don't get 10 mil, we probably really should start and water this again anyway. Yeah, there's the probes. It's pulling the moisture out anyway. So by rights, we probably should just start and water it and be done with it. So we'll see how we go. We'll just need to probably make that decision. We'll wait and see as it gets a bit closer. We need to get the channels sprayed over here. Because yeah, that was a bit of the issue last time, just dirty channels, and it was holding the water up a bit. So anyway, it's yeah, it's good to have a bit of feed up our sleeves, but yeah, I need to get those ewe lambs over here and get them onto, they're about eating out where they are at home, and then we can splash a bit of water on that stuff at home too. So, but yeah, there's a couple over here that I don't know what they got left behind. Not sure whether they were cripples or what they were, but yeah, they're having, you probably can't see them there in the middle, but they're having the times of their lives. Anyway, but this is some of the stuff that's block here that we pre-watered, and yeah, it's flying. So it'd be good if it all looked like that. But yeah, this is the probes out here. So yeah, that's what we're sort of gauging it off. But no, it looks good. Yeah, the back farm here. If you watch the video, I think 2 ago now, they get away. I just had a bit of a drive around at the crops and canola here. It's now basically got 0 flower. So we're effectively 3 weeks off windrowing or swathing, depending on what part of the world you're in. Yeah, so rain will still benefit while the crops are green. The rain will still benefit these ones. So yeah, but it doesn't look a bad crop all the same for whatever we've had, 180 or 90 mil for the year. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, it's all, harvest is rapidly approaching. With the 21st of September, we will have a header going before the end of October. At this rate, yeah, we're not ready. Oh, we are. We could go to work if we had to by then, I think. We've got a bit to do, but yeah, no, I shouldn't say that. We're going all right, but yeah, it's yeah, no, it'll be an early harvest anyway at this rate, so definitely be finished by the turn. Well, I shouldn't say that, unless something goes severely pear-shaped. We should be finished before Santa Claus turns up. So if we're still harvesting at Christmas time, things have really gone south. Anyway, but it actually, crops look alright. Yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. And again, if we get rain this week, that'll help those seeds fill, the pods fill. Yeah, so anyway, we'll soldier on. Just the barley here, or you can quite clearly see the whiteness in it. I'm not actually sure what's going on here. Whether it's, you got one there that's fine and that one's sort of buggered, so yeah, whether it's just it's quite sandy here, so whether it's something to do, the grain is, well, yeah, the grain's there because there's a bit of milk coming out, if you can see that. Yeah, don't know. Could possibly just be moisture stress on the sand here, and it's that shower rain the other day sort of saved it. But again, as I mentioned, that one when I had a look around before, grain quality is going to be an issue. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, it's a bit funny, that one. So it's got cool again. Anyway, morning. So just on the foot falcon this morning, just wandering over and going to bring the little fent back. I'm going to shift that hard hose irrigator. I'm not going to run it today. We'll start it again in the morning. I'll get up early and get it going, sort of past 5 or 6 o'clock, and then we can shift it in the daylight. Yeah, we need to got one more shift on the section where it is, and then we're going to have to move the pipes. So school will see how we're going. Tomorrow I might be able to get one of the kids to give me a hand or something like that. We've got school holidays, so our oldest daughter might be able to come over and drive a tractor while we walk along quietly and pick the pipes up and move them, and then yeah, we can move the whole show over to the other side of the channel in the afternoon. Pivot's still going here on the loosen. I've got a dog here. She's funny, she's seen me walking, but she doesn't know whether she'll get in trouble if she turns up or not. So she's been 100 metres behind me, and all of a sudden she's caught up. So hello. So she's generally my shadow most of the time. So I'm for a morning walk. So just sort of wander over here, just try and get me back to free up a little bit, because it still ain't great, but anyway, it is slowly improving. But anyway, we'll get over here. I don't know whether I'll show you too much of this shifting this irrigator. You've probably seen enough of it now, you're probably sick of it, I know I am. But anyway, so someone commented, is it irrigating or irritating? It's starting to become a bit irritating. So anyway, weather forecast's a bit so-so again. It's a bit like the pub with free beer. The 7-day forecast keeps promising rain, but you get to that 7 days and it's the next 7 days. So anyway, we'll get over here and get it packed up and moved anyway. The oats are trying to become something. I don't think they'll be hay. Yeah, got a bit of work to do yet, but they have freshened up since we had that shower rain, so there's plenty of ryegrass in that here. We probably give them a bit longer. We probably should actually just put some stock in here, some lambs in here, and graze them off perhaps. Yeah, we're pretty good for feed at the moment, but we'll just see. It won't be long and they'll start and try and throw a head up. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. There's a few patches where we did try and get a bit of water. They have sort of come away, but yeah, you can't beat the stuff that falls out of the sky sometimes. Anyway, set up ready to go for the morning. So yeah, we'll just, as I said, I'll get out here early and get it going, and then it'll be finished before dark, and then effectively just jump it over the channel. Not jump it over, but we'll move it over to that side and work our way back to here, and then We've got a low spot here in the middle where the channel leak that we can't get, but we'll get a bit round the top end there. So yeah, we'll just keep chipping away at it, and it's all going to help. So yeah, anyway, it's got cold again. I haven't got took my jumper off, and it's, yeah, wind's got up and it's a bit chilly. All day, I thought a few hours. We're just yeah, poking along quietly for a Sunday. So we just had a bit of a, Josh called over this morning. We had a bit of a play around with this, so we reckon that'll be the height we've got. So we're going to cut the, probably cut the bottom of that tine off on a 45 there, because we don't need that. And look, we're probably working on about 200 mil or 8 inches of depth. We probably won't pull it if we go too much deeper, but that's going to be plenty deep enough for, you know, we're going to have fertilizer down 8 inches, so that's what we want. Yeah, so he's going to come over in the morning and start and play around with those tines. I've just going to do a half an hour, 3/4 an hour here on the welder, just trying to get this axle, just keep chipping away at it. So I have just cleaned up these plates. Yeah, so I just ran a beater weld around there, so that'll just go on there. Yeah, and I don't think I won't fully weld it. I'll fully weld it around the end and around on the inside there and across there, and do the other one. The holes here in the middle, we were just looking with this bush. I'm going to have a bit of a play here. We're not square that way. Probably doesn't matter much, but we'll yeah, I might just get the gas and just take a trim off around that inside and just get it as square as we can anyway. So yeah, but no, it's slowly coming together, but it's just, I need to spend a couple of hours on the welder and get this part of it made up. And I've still got some short bushes and that I need to machine up, but yeah, look, it's just getting a full day out. It's going to be the trick. So anyway, I'll chip away here for a while and try and get it done. GoPro charge, but so yeah, we've just welded around there, and that'll be the bottom, so doesn't need to be too pretty. I had to change the gas bottle, it run out of gas, but luckily I had got one. So yeah, hopefully that'll work out all right. What I'll do, I was trying to work out what to do with this bush as far as getting grease into it. What I reckon I'll do the same as what I've done on the end here with these plates and the little, you know, plug thing to be able to just take it out and grease it. I reckon I'll just drill a hole in there. I don't think we're not going to lose any strength, I think, in doing that. And then I'll just drill and tap a hole in the middle of that bush. I do need to obviously get that square. I'm not too sure what the go is there yet. So I'll just sit one of these up here and I'll just show you what I was talking about at the end here. So that'll sit there for the minute. Ah, look at that. Oh, no. So, yeah, that one I'll grab the long one so you get a bit better here. So that should work pretty well. So we'll get a little fillet weld along there, and we'll be able to weld around the end there, and I'll just stitch it along the top, and then once we get the bush in, yeah, obviously we'll weld the bush, and then we'll put a weld around that to the weld on the bush, and Robert's your mother's brother. So yeah, as I said, it's not going to take long to get it together, and that'll just give it, that's got to obviously roll over, but it'll give that, you know, the lateral strength we sort of want. And then we've got another one there that we'll put on the other side, so it's definitely not going to bend. Yeah, as I said, I prefer to over-engineer stuff rather than under-engineer. So anyway, that might nearly do for this video, and might nearly do for today. So it's about knock-off time. Anyway, thanks again. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.